Hello friends, IBPS POPT exam is about to come and we are here to discuss IBPS POPT Model Paper 2 English Language. The first section, reasoning, has already been discussed and the quantitative aptitude will follow. In the middle we have the English language. तो अभी हम लोग English language के 30 क्वेश्चंस को डिस्कस करेंगे. मॉडल पेपर 2 इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज. मॉडल पेपर का मतलब इसी तरह के क्वेश्चंस आपको आने की संभावना है. कुछ चेंजेस हो सकते हैं और डिपेंड करता है एग्जामिनर क्वेश्चन सेटर क्या सोचता है, कितना सोचता है. बट इफ यू ट्राई टू solve these papers, you will be in a good position because if you're in, and above all, as I say, reading. अगर रीडिंग करते हैं और क्वेश्चंस को सॉल्व करते हैं तो कोई किसी भी तरह का क्वेश्चन आए, आखिर पूछेंगे तो लैंग्वेज से ही ना. सो यू विल बी इन अ पोजीशन टू आंसर दोज क्वेश्चंस. डू रीड द डायरेक्शंस वेरी केयरफुली. इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू रीड द डायरेक्शंस क्योंकि आजकल डायरेक्शंस पे काफ़ी खेल होता है. सो लेट अस बिगिन विद दिस. IBPS POPT Model Paper 2 English Language. Question number 1 to 5. Read the directions. In each of the following questions, a few statements have been given. You have to arrange them and choose the correct arrangement from the given options. So this is nothing but sentence arrangement. अब देखिए पहले क्या होता था, you had a sentence arrangement puzzle जहाँ पे आपको 6-7 sentences दे देते थे. You were asked to rearrange those sentences and then there were 5 questions on that. Now you have only 4 sentences here but only 1 question. So that does become time consuming. But that hardly matters for you. You don't have to think about time. You have to think about solving it correctly, solving the questions correctly and as fast as you can to the best of your ability. You don't have to wait. At the same time, you don't have to hurry. तो इस तरह से आपको ध्यान देना है. Let's see. It depends on certain external factors as well. Of course, अभी हम लोग hurry नहीं करेंगे. We'll go through them धीरे-धीरे. We'll go through them slowly at our own pace so as to understand them better. But when you're in the exam hall, it's all a question of 20 minutes, yes. So it depends on certain external factors as well. See, it depends. So now this it gives you a clue. What depends? Something must be depending. So your first sentence nahi hoga. And understanding of these concepts is crucial. Again, these concepts is crucial in evaluating the agriculture policies of other agrarian countries such as India. The aggregate measurement of support, AMS, is not just the budgetary expenditure of the government to provide subsidies to the agricultural products. Now, not just, remember, not only but also. So, not just, but something else. So, this is not just, but something else. The calculation of quantum of market price support is based on the price gap between the applied administered price identified in the domestic support measure and the fixed eternal reference price multiplied by the quantity of eligible production. अब ये देखिए clue कहाँ से मिल रहा है? Not just, but also. अब यहाँ but also कहाँ है? It's hidden. ये कुछ दूसरे रूप में है. It depends on. मतलब ये सिर्फ इससे नहीं होता है बल्कि इस पर भी निर्भर करता है. So here we have CA एक सीक्वेंस बनता है. अब देखिए CA सीक्वेंस कहाँ है? यहाँ पे नहीं है, so this goes away. यहाँ पे नहीं है, this goes away. यहाँ है, इसको हम रखेंगे under consideration. यहाँ है, इसको हम रखेंगे under consideration. यहाँ भी है, इसको हम रखेंगे under consideration. अब जरा सा ध्यान दें, ये these concepts किसकी बात कर रहा है? क्या ये केवल CA की बात कर रहा है या ये CA और D पूरे में जो है उसकी बात कर रहा है? If you go through these carefully, you'll see that these concepts talks about all these 3 sentences, CAD. So ये तो नहीं हो सकता because B comes earlier. तो B को और ये भी नहीं हो सकता because B comes first. So B को लास्ट में आना है as a conclusion. That is why हमारा आंसर क्या होगा? CADB. ये हमारा आंसर होगा. Yes, anyone answering the question? No. अभी चैट में दिखा नहीं रहा आपका कोई क्वेश्चन. ठीक है. So 1 का आंसर 3 है. Now let us come to the second question. Question number 2. Hopefully, with this development, मतलब कुछ हो चुका है already. The L&T management and Mindtree promoters will cease their war of words. Cease means stop. So will cease their war of words on this issue and leave the decision to Mindtree's public on this issue. So again, there are a number of clues here कि ये पीछे की चीजों को refer कर रहा है. Who are the only entities who should be taking a call on the merits of this offer? With Larsen & Toubro, L&T, announcing an open offer to acquire a 31% public shareholding in Mindtree, the melodrama over this takeover seems to be giving way to a more reasoned response. Again, this takeover. Mindtree, which was toying with a share buyback plan to undermine this bid, has now dropped this idea. Now this idea तो इसी sentence को refer कर रहा है, share buyback plan को. रमेश जहांगीर, good morning. नरेश कुमार, good morning. It has set up a committee of independent directors to evaluate the offer. It किसको refer कर रहा है? तो it Mindtree को refer कर रहा होगा या Larsen & Toubro किसी को refer कर रहा होगा और तो कुछ यहाँ दिखाई नहीं पड़ता है. Now this takeover, ये थोड़ा सा confusing है. This takeover ये किसी बाहर की चीज को नहीं रेफर कर रहा है. अगर आप पूरे को पढ़ेंगे तो कुछ ऐसा नया नहीं है. सो दिस इज काइंड ऑफ इंट्रोड्यूसिंग सेंटेंस. बी से आपका शुरू होने का चांस है. अभी ठीक से देख लेते हैं थोड़ा. तो इस दिस पे मत जाइए क्योंकि ये दिस टेक ओवर और कहीं पीछे मिल नहीं रहा है अगर आप सेंटेंस ए सी डी को पढ़ें तो. सो लेट अस गेट रिड ऑफ दिस. नाउ सी व्हाट इज हैपनिंग. This bid. Now where is the bid? Undermine this bid. और इस bid की बात कहाँ हुई है? An open offer. तो ये किसको रेफर कर रहा है? C किसको रेफर कर रहा है? B को रेफर कर रहा है. BC. और it किसको रेफर कर रहा है? It has set up a committee. Mindtree को रेफर कर रहा है. Who has set up to evaluate the offer? Offer किसको मिला है? Mindtree को. तो जब Mindtree को ऑफर मिला है तो इवेलुएट वही करेगा. सो इट रेफर्स टू Mindtree. सो इट कैन बी BA, इट कैन बी CA. इट कैन बी CA. तो अब दो अगर इनको हम मिलाते हैं तो क्या पॉसिबिलिटी बनता है? इन दोनों को मिलाने से एक पॉसिबिलिटी बनता है BAC और इन दोनों को मिलाने से एक पॉसिबिलिटी बन रहा है BCA. अब इन दोनों में से कौन होगा? देखिए किसको हम पहले प्लेस कर सकते हैं. अब यहां पे थोड़ा लॉजिक आ रहा है क्योंकि Mindtree has now dropped this idea and instead it has set up a committee. ये instead वर्ड यहां पे दिया नहीं है कि इसके बदले, लेकिन यहाँ पे अंडरस्टूड है. अगर आप पढ़ेंगे तो लॉजिक से आपको जब आप सेंटेंस का मीनिंग लगाना चाहेंगे तो ये मीनिंग आएगा. सो BC और सॉरी ये I'm sorry. ये it तो D में है ना. It is in D. तो ये भी हमारा D. So not this. This becomes what? It can be either BCD or it can be BCD or it can be, अगर हम इन दोनों को लेके चलें तो BDC या BCD. ये दो संभावनाएं बनती हैं. तो इन दोनों में कौन पहले आएगा? तो जैसा मैं कह रहा था लॉजिकली, आई एम सॉरी फॉर द लिटिल गूफ अप दैट आई डिड. तो ये C के बाद D इसलिए आएगा आपका क्योंकि लॉजिकली इट हैज नाउ ड्रॉप दिस आइडिया एंड नाउ सेट अप दिस कैमरा. रवि ठाकुर, गुड मॉर्निंग. सो वी हैव दिस BCD और उसके बाद ये अगर हम देखें होपफुली विद दिस डेवलपमेंट तो ये पूरे को रेफर कर रहा है. सो BCD तो पहले हमारा आ गया. नाउ दिस शुड बी, सो दिस गोज अवे BDC and you now this A will now come as a conclusion. So what you get is BCDA. and this becomes your answer. Let us move on to the next question. Question number 3. Yes, can anyone solve it? Let us see. अगर आपका कोई आंसर है तो आप बताएं इसे. The latest news doing the rounds is that banks have asked the Reserve Bank of India to defer the implementation of Ind AS. The reason. Now, the reason. So, ये किसी का reason जरूर होगा. The impact of Ind AS could be immense on their P&L account and balance sheet, which are already extremely weak. It looks like banks in India can never be out of the news for an extended period of time. Now, note this it. This it is an indefinite pronoun. Generally, agar it aata hai, what I say is that it must be referring to some preceding noun. But that is when it is a personal pronoun. Jaise, the cat is grey and it is sleeping. We don't say the cat. So, wo it alag hai. Lekin yahan, it looks like. Aisa lagta hai becomes, it looks like. It's going to rain. Now, this is an indefinite pronoun. So, इस it से आप ज़्यादा दिमाग ना लगाएं. ये बल्कि ये क्या हो सकता है? This would serve as an introductory sentence. इस तरह का जब आता है तो introductory sentence होने का chance रहता है. So this C may be the first sentence. In its role as the regulator, the RBI might accede to the request since we are already in the middle of March and there is no guidance yet from the central bank on critical concepts of Ind AS. तो ये the reason हमें बहुत बड़ा clue दे रहा है. ये reason किसका है? अगर आप गौर से देखें तो A, B को आप पढ़ें ठीक से. The latest news during the rounds is that banks have asked the Reserve Bank of India to defer the implementation of the Ind AS. Ind AS को defer करना है, ये accounting standards है. इसको defer करना है. क्यों defer करना है? The reason, the impact of Ind AS could be immense on their P&L, profit and loss account and balance sheet, which are already extremely weak. तो जब पहले से ही बैंक परेशानी में चल रहे हैं, तो Ind AS लाके एक और नई परेशानी नहीं खड़ी करनी है. So that is the reason. So that gives us A, B एक साथ. And it looks like banks can never be out of the news for an extended period of time. बैंक्स के बुरे हाल को इंट्रोड्यूस करने के लिए सेंटेंस है. तो CAB things are becoming pretty clear. This goes away, this goes away, this goes away. We are left with two sentences. D coming in between doesn't make much sense. So this also goes away. We go for CABD. और एक बार आप जरूर इन सेंटेंसेस को पढ़ के देख लें. जब भी आप इसको बनाते हैं, आपके पास टाइम है तो आप उसको जरूर पढ़ के देख लें. बल्कि टाइम नहीं भी है तो आप निकालें टाइम. और क्योंकि कम क्वेश्चन भी करें और सही करें, so that makes much more sense than doing a number of questions and doing them wrongly because there is negative marking, remember. Sandeep Kumar says option 5. Yes, he is correct. Question number 3 का answer 5. Now come to question number 4. देखिए question number 4 का क्या आंसर होगा. What is commendable is that mindful of the space environment, the scientists decided to demonstrate their capability by targeting a satellite in the lower band of low Earth's orbit. Now, the shooting down of a fast-moving satellite in an orbit 300 kilometers from the Earth in an attempt to prove the country's anti-satellite technology prowess is undoubtedly a remarkable feat. They ensured, note this they ensured that the debris created by such an impact will have short orbital life and not pose any threat to other objects in the orbit. This is strategically significant. Again, this is strategically significant, as in the eventuality of an attack, India can cripple the enemy's communication and financial services, among others, by targeting its satellites in orbit. Now, they ensured, अब इसमें अगर आप देखें तो किन लोगों की बात हो रही है. कहीं पे साइंटिस्ट वर्ड दिखाई पड़ रहा था. द साइंटिस्ट. इसका मतलब क्या है? द साइंटिस्ट एंड दे. सो सी इज रेफरिंग टू ए. तो ए के बाद सी आएगा. सो दिस गोज अवे. ए सी. दिस गोज अवे. this goes away, this goes. This is the only option that you have left is BDAC. अब एक बार जब इतनी आसानी से आंसर आ गया तो इसको पढ़ के जरूर देख लें that it makes sense. देखिए, the shooting down of a fast-moving satellite in an orbit 300 kilometers from the Earth in an attempt to prove the country's anti-satellite technology prowess is undoubtedly a remarkable feat. This is undoubtedly a remarkable feat. एक introduction हुआ. फिर इसमें आगे ऐड कर रहे हैं, दिस इज स्ट्रेटजी. ये जो बात है बी में जो बात कही गई, दिस इज राजन सिग्नम सेज 2222. यस, अगेन ही सेज राजन सिग्नम सेज 2222. यस, सो 3 6 7 12 टाइम्स करेक्ट. यस, राजन सिग्नम. So, अभी हम सेंटेंस को पढ़ रहे थे. बी डी, दिस इज स्ट्रेटेजिकली सिग्निफिकेंट as in the eventuality of an attack, India can cripple the enemy's communication and financial services, among others, by targeting its satellites in orbit. और फिर आगे ऐड करते हैं, what is commendable is that, mindful of the space environment, the scientists decided to demonstrate their capability by doing this, and they ensured that this. तो इसलिए अगर पूरी तरह से देखें तो ये BDAC बिल्कुल सही बैठता है. And so our answer is 2, as already told by Rajan Signam. Now we come to question number 5. Yes, Rajan, question number 5 का आंसर दीजिए. संदीप कुमार and others. Yes, if you can answer question number 5, fine. ये तो थोड़ा आसान लगता है क्योंकि sentences छोटे हैं. थोड़ा कठिन इसलिए है कि financial चीज इसमें involved है. Today there is greater market development, but a baby step of 25 basis points may still be inadequate. कहाँ होगा? ये रेपो रेट की तरफ जा रहा है. A middling, that's a clue for you. A middling change would be appropriate now. Baby step से काम नहीं चले. The stance must change from neutral to accommodative so that future rate cuts are factored into decision making. There is virtue in front-loading cuts. A middling change would be appropriate now. Sentences बहुत छोटे-छोटे हैं, connection कुछ ऐसा दिख नहीं रहा है. लेकिन जैसा मेरे मुंह से गलती से निकल गया पहले ही, a middling change would be appropriate now. ये कहाँ middling change? ये baby step. इन दोनों को इतने छोटे से कदम से काम नहीं चलेगा. बीच बीच का कुछ बहुत बड़ा कदम भी नहीं उठाना है, बीच बीच का कुछ कदम उठाना है. बेबी स्टेप विल नॉट डू. वी हैव टू गो फॉर अ मिडलिंग चेंज. सो AD गिव्स यू अ लिंक. अब देखते हैं AD कहाँ है. यहाँ नहीं है, यहाँ नहीं है, यहाँ है, यहाँ है, यहाँ नहीं है. So now our choices narrow down between 3 and 4. Let us see और क्या हो सकता है. 3 and 4. अब इनको थोड़ा पढ़. There is virtue in front loading cuts. ये sentence कहाँ पे आ सकता है? Should it come at the beginning as in 3 or should it come after ADC? तो अगर आप पूरे को पढ़ेंगे तो ये क्लियर हो जाता है कि ये एक्सप्लेन कर रहा है फर्दर चीजों को. मिडलिंग चेंज को आगे एक्सप्लेन कर रहा है. यस, राजन सिग्नम सेज 111. नो, सॉरी राजन, BCDA वी हैव ऑलरेडी रूल्ड आउट, सो 1 कैनॉट बी द आंसर. अभी हम आगे देखते हैं. 3 और 4 में हो सकता है, उनके बीच थोड़ा हमें कंफ्यूजन है, वो देखना है. देयर इज वर्च्यू इन फ्रंट लोडिंग कट्स. अगर वहां से शुरू करें, देयर इज वर्च्यू इन फ्रंट लोडिंग कट्स. टुडे देयर इज ग्रेटर मार्केट डेवलपमेंट बट अ बेबी स्टेप में स्टिल बी इनएडिक्वेट. ये एब्रप्ट बिगिनिंग हो जाता है वर्च्यू इन फ्रंट, क्योंकि ये एक्सप्लेन कर रहा है AD को, ना कि शुरू में इंट्रोड्यूस कर रहा है. सो ADCB. इससे पहले आपको फ्रंट लोडिंग बताना थोड़ा जरूरी है, बिकॉज उसके बिना समझना मुश्किल होगा. आजकल ये वर्ड बहुत ही यूज हो रहा है. निर्मला सीतारामन ने अभी फ्रंट लोड किया. क्या फ्रंट लोड किया? वॉशिंग मशीन में नहीं किया. कहाँ पे किया? देखिए, फ्रंट लोड मीन्स जब आप कॉस्ट को एलोकेट करते हैं या कोई एक्सपेंडिचर को एलोकेट करते हैं. सो 1 कैन बी दैट 100 रुपये खर्च करने हैं तो 10 सपोज 40 रुपये खर्च करने हैं. लेट्स बी 40 रुपीज. सो आई हैव अ स्मॉलर बार. So 40 rupees, so what you're doing is you're spending 10 rupees each at regular intervals. The other way out can be कि अगर शुरू में हम ज़्यादा खर्च कर दें, फ्रंट शुरू में 30 रुपीज़ कर दिया और बाद में 10 को स्पेस आउट कर दिया, 3, 2, 5, something like this. So what happens? Here the load is great, front. So you are not distributing or allocating the costs evenly, you are doing it unevenly. The major expenditure is being made at the beginning. So that is what front loading is. So there is a virtue in front loading cuts. अगर हमको repo rate cuts करना है तो उसको gradually करते रहने से अच्छा है कि शुरू में ज़्यादा कर दो, बाद में भले ही धीरे धीरे करो. So that's what it is explaining. So now ADCB will make sense to you. Today there is greater market development, but a baby step of 25 basis points may still be inadequate. A middling change would be appropriate now. There is virtue in front-loading cuts. The stance must change from neutral to accommodative so that future rate cuts are factored into decision-making. Future में जो आप cut करेंगे, उसको अभी ही factor in कर लें, and let us go for front-loading. Let us go for repo rate cuts in with more force right now. So that's what the passage is all about. So 5 ka 4. With that, this section comes to end. We'll move on to the next section. Directions, question number 6 to 14. Which of the phrases 1, 2, 3, and 4 given below each sentence should replace the phrase printed in bold in the sentence to make it grammatically correct? ये जो bold में phrase दिया हुआ है, इसको replace करना है. ये sentence correction का question है. If the sentence is correct as it is given and no correction is required, mark 5, that is no correction required as the answer. Now ये questions काफी आसान होते हैं, इसलिए I'll expect more answers from your side. Let us see. Question number 6 को पढ़िए और आंसर देने की कोशिश कीजिए. Ironically, non-banking financial companies which have issued that is probably more serious than those of fairly stable banks have transitioned to Ind AS in the current financial years. Which have issued what? कुछ तो गड़बड़ है यहाँ पे. So let us see यहाँ पे क्या है. यहाँ which have issued, again यहाँ भी कुछ नहीं मिल रहा है. इसका तो कोई object होगा. Object नहीं मिल रहा है. So this goes away. Have been issued से भी काम नहीं चलता है. So which have issues, yes. They have issues. यानी उनके पास कुछ issues हैं. तो अब issues में क्या हो सकता है? That are, yes, that is की जगह that are हो जाएगा. And then that are probably much serious than those. Note this than. Than है तो comparative degree भी चाहिए. That is why much तो नहीं हो सकता है. So this goes away. That is why we'll have to go for 4. एक बार इसको पढ़ लें sentence को. Ironically, non-banking financial companies which have issues that are probably more serious than those of fairly stable banks have transitioned to Ind AS in the current financial. ये Ind AS accounting standards है जिसकी बार-बार बात हो रही है. एक चीज ध्यान रखें, जब जो क्वेश्चन सेटर्स हैं वो क्वेश्चन बनाते हैं तो जनरली कहीं से कुछ पढ़ते हैं और इससे वो बनाना शुरू करते हैं. तो एक टॉपिक अगर उठा लिया, so that topic has much probability to recur. और आप अगर उस टॉपिक से अवगत नहीं होंगे तो अचानक आपको लगेगा कि ये सारे क्वेश्चन क्या आ रहे हैं. और अगर आप जैसे कोई इंड एएस को जान रहा है, अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स को जान रहा है, उसके लिए क्वेश्चंस काफ़ी आसान हो जाएंगे क्योंकि he must have already read that in a sequence, he must already be familiar with the words कि कौन सा वर्ड कहाँ पे फिलअप होगा. That is why make a habit of reading. And then here comes what? Rajan Signam Matthias SLA. Rajan Signam, I request sir, please would like you to take reading comprehension class. I'm already taking this reading comprehension classes in this Banking Ultimate course that we have here. So those who are, and even now we will go through a comprehension passage. So don't be worried about that. We are already doing that. Yes, now move on to question number 7. Question number 7. In recent years, the RBI has had a lot of distractions in the form of governor-level changes and differences of opinion with the government on dividend payouts. Now, this has had is something that troubles people a lot, which is nothing but because the problem is that have is main verb as well as auxiliary verb or helping verb. अगर आसान लैंग्वेज में कहें तो helping verb. So whenever you have this kind of structure, the first one is helping verb, has, have, इस तरह का जब भी आता है, then the first one is helping verb and the second one is main verb. जैसे आई हैड माई ब्रेकफास्ट, मतलब आई टुक माई ब्रेकफास्ट, तो वहाँ हैव का मीनिंग क्या है? टेक। और आई हैव टेकन माई ब्रेकफास्ट, तो क्या कहेंगे आप? आई हैव हैड माई ब्रेकफास्ट. सो द फर्स्ट इज हैव टेकन का हैव, द सेकेंड इज टेकन के बदले हैड. सो इट्स दैट काइंड ऑफ थिंग. So this has had structure should not cause you much problem. So first is has, the helping verb. The second is has के बाद V3 चाहिए. This is the V3 of have. Now इसमें और क्या परेशानी आ सकती है? RBI has had a lots of distractions. No, generally we don't say a lots तो नहीं हो सकता ना. We can say a lot or we can say lots. So not this. RBI के बाद have नहीं होगा. It's singular, so not this. RBI has. Now has, no. Has के बाद we need V3. So this cannot be there. RBI has had the lot of distractions. No, the phrase is a lot of distractions, so not even this. Our sentence is correct. The RBI has had a lot of distractions. Now let us move on to question number 8. Sorry. Yes, question number 8 is here for you. The deal was far from the frictionless scenario that the industry had hoped for as the aftermath of the referendum. Now, note the word aftermath. Aftermath means what? Consequences, after effects. So, like certain steps were taken in the aftermath of the earthquake. So, aftermath of के साथ हमेशा यहाँ पे क्या लगाते हैं? In लगाते हैं. So, in वाला ऑप्शन कहाँ है? यहाँ पे है, ये नहीं है. यहाँ पे है इन, लेकिन इन द आफ्टर यहाँ इन इसमें है और इसमें है. ठीक. सेकेंडली इन द आफ्टरमैथ होता है, नॉट इन ए आफ्टरमैथ. ए तो ऐसे भी नहीं होगा, एन होगा, बट आफ्टरमैथ के पहले एन, बिकॉज आफ्टरमैथ इज समथिंग पर्टिकुलर. सो यू नीड इन द आफ्टरमैथ ऑफ. So we can't go for this. And aftermath is not used as plural. Aftermath, its meaning is plural, consequences, ill effects, but it's not used as aftermaths. So ये भी नहीं होगा. This one, we go for this. The deal was far from the frictionless scenario. Ajay Raina, good morning. Rajan Signam, question number 8 का आंसर आप बता रहे हैं 1, which is correct. Asutosh Singh also has got the right answer. So 8 का आंसर 1 है. The deal was far from the frictionless scenario that the industry had hoped for in the aftermath of the referendum. Now we go to the next question. Question number 9. The absence of statistical indicators cannot blind us to the severely constraining role played by inequalities of income, power, access to services, and citizens' entitlements, which then play out in affecting the other goal in each country. The other goal, which other goal are we talking about? Is it some specific goal? No. So then it would be another goal. Another goal kahin hai? Nahin. This says another goals. No. The another goals. Absurd. So we are referring to the other, which then play out in affecting the goal in each other country. No meaning. So in affecting the other goals in each country. So thoda sa meaning pe dhyan rakhein. It will become very easy for you. It then play out in affecting the other goals in each country. So 9 ka answer is 2. Let us move on to the next question. While the scientists deserved all the credit for what they achieved recently, Asutosh Singh gets 2. उन्होंने ये 9 का आंसर बताया 2. Yes, Asutosh Singh, that's correct. We'll now move on to question number 10. While the scientists deserved all the credit for what they achieved recently, the breaking of the news to the nation through a live telecast by Prime Minister Narendra Modi did attracted criticism from some quarters. Did attracted, double pass, nahi ho sakta. So kuch to gadbad hai. Did attract critics from few quarters. Few? A few रहता तो शायद हो जाता, ये तो नहीं हो सकता. Attracted criticism from some. Now when this is some, तो यहाँ plural होगा. This is some quarters. कुछ कोनों से आवाज आ रही है. So this will also not be there. Did it from some quarter, again for the same reason, this goes away. So did attract criticism from some quarters. This is the correct answer. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the breaking of the news to the nation through a live telecast by Prime Minister Narendra Modi did attract criticism. Now, did attract is used for emphasis. Attracted to simple ho jayega. Did attract is used for emphasis. So, did attract criticism from some quarters. So, question number 10 ka answer 4. Let us move on to the next question. Question number 11 to 15. In each question below, 2 sentences are given. These 2 sentences are to be combined, 2 sentences, 1 here and 2. These 2 sentences are to be combined into a single sentence without changing their meanings. 3 probable starters, starter number 1, starter number 2, starter number 3. 3 probable starters of the combined sentence are given, which are denoted by 1, 2, and 3. Any one or more or none of them may be correct. Find out the correct starter and accordingly select your answer from among the given 5 answer choices. यहाँ पे sentence को आपको combine करना आना चाहिए. I've already told you in our earlier classes कि कैसे sentences को combine करते हैं. So if you use that, it will be easy for you. For those who have not, अभी थोड़ा हल्का through example we'll try to learn. So question number 11, try to solve this. The current account deficit is reducing. Financing this reduced deficit is no longer a problem. Financing is no longer a. Now see here. यहाँ पे क्या था? Financing this reduced deficit. यहाँ पे क्या है? Financing is no longer. Financing what? This reduced deficit. Now this is missing. So, no object. So we can't start with this. Now the reduction in deficit. Which deficit are we talking about? Something is missing here. The reduction in deficit, because here we said this reduced deficit, which is what? A reduction in current account deficit. But saying simply the reduction in deficit, you are taking only half the meaning. So we cannot go for this either. Now let us see if we can start with 3, because it can be 3, it can be none. So we have to be careful with every choice. As the current account deficit, as the current account, obviously referring to this sentence, as the current account deficit, so let us try to write this, is reducing, financing, I think I'll write it here. As the current account deficit is reducing, financing. Now this reduced deficit, we can simply do with an it, because as the current account deficit is reducing, financing it is no longer a problem. As the current account deficit is reducing, financing it is no longer a problem. So we can start with 3. So our answer will be what? Akash Patil says option 3. Option 3 will mean only 2. We have already seen why 2 cannot be the answer, because the reduction in deficit. Which deficit? We are talking about current account deficit. So who will put in these words, current account deficit? So we cannot go for that. So our answer yes. Or if Akash you mean that option 3 meaning this, but be very careful. ये जो Roman number choices रहते हैं, इसके बाद again you have Arabic number choices 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. तो हमें जो answer देना है, ये confusion भी नहीं होना चाहिए. At times people do get confused about this. ये 1, 2, 3 यहाँ पे 3 आया, जल्दी से वहाँ पे 3 circle 3 को darken कर दो. No. Oh yeah, now no more darkening. Now you're clicking the button. So you click the button number 3. No. Here you have to click button number 4, because only 3 is here. So be very careful about your answers. Because these things matter. You may know English, but you may not be comfortable with clicking at the correct position, and that's where practice comes in. So, question number 11, your answer is 4. Question number 12. The liquidity situation has improved since February, but there is a cash leakage also due to elections. Now, if we start with but due to elections, what can we put here? There is cash leakage. Thoda atpata sentence ban raha hai, but due to elections, there is cash leakage. And then if you go for liquidity situation, the sentence becomes somewhat convoluted. If we start with since February, ये आसानी से हो सकता है, because since February, अगर since February से शुरू करें तो इस part को आगे ले जाएंगे. Since February, the liquidity situation has improved. And then straight away put the sentence B. When I say sentence B, those who have already taken the classes, you would know what it means. Sentence A, sentence B. First sentence को sentence A से denote करते हैं, second को sentence B से. So then you can say, since February the liquidity situation has improved, but there is, and the whole sentence comes in and the meaning becomes clear. Since February, the liquidity situation has improved, but there is cash leakage also due to elections. So 2 to ho jata hai. Now let us see 3. 3 again is just putting the two sentences together. Though the liquidity situation has improved, बस ये liquidity को यहाँ से हटा देते हैं. So though the liquidity situation has improved since February, and because दो है तो अब but नहीं आके क्या आ जाएगा, दो के साथ या तो कुछ नहीं लगाते हैं या yet लगाते हैं. So instead of this but, what we write is yet there is, and the rest of the sentence, cash leakage also due to elections. Rajan Signam, that BSc Live will inform you about this when they have the next class, because I don't take it on an individual basis. It's an entire group that is taking the classes. You better write to BSc Live and they'll let you know. Let us now move. So this sentence is also correct, as we have seen. So question number 12 का answer है 2 and 3. Since February वाला भी sentence भी हो रहा है and though the liquidity से भी हो रहा है, so our answer will be 12 का 3. Let us now move on to the next question. Question number 13. Yes, again rate cuts. Repo rate बार बार आता रहेगा banking वाला. The first rate cut should have come in December. Because of the late start, a 0.5 percentage point cut is warranted to support a likely investment push after the election results in May if there is a stable government in place and mitigate the downturn if there is not. So simply put, the sentences, first rate cut should have come in December, but because of the late start, some compensation has to be made. कुछ और करना पड़ेगा. So in December, ये बस in December को केवल पहले लेके चले गए यहाँ. That's what is happening here. In December, the first rate cut should have come, but what? But sentence B. So, but because of, and then the entire sentence has to come in. But because of the late start, a 0.5 percentage point cut is warranted to support a likely investment push after the election results in May if there is stable government in place, and mitigate the downturn if there is not. So one to ho raha hai. Now, to support a likely investment, if we start from to support a likely investment, what can we do? To support a likely investment, a 0.5 percentage point cut is warranted. वहाँ तक तो ठीक है, but after that we lose the plot. उसके आगे कहाँ जाए? So this cannot be the answer. Now, because of the late start in December, now this is confusing things. Late start in December, no. This is the first rate cut should have come in December, but it has not come. So it has not started in December. It has started because of the late start. So late start means it has started sometime after December. So this, because of the late start in December, is logically incorrect. So our answer will be what? 13 ka question number, 13 ka answer choice is 2. We now go to question number 14. The CPI trajectory, primarily that of food inflation, has undershot expectations repeatedly and seems likely to be well contained going forward. The CPI trajectory, CPI का जो growth path है, trajectory, primarily that of food. CPI क्या हुआ? Not Communist Party of India. CPI, Consumer Price Index. ये जो या inflation, sorry, Consumer Price Inflation. So the CPI trajectory, उसका जो primarily that of food inflation, उसमें mainly क्या आता है? Food inflation has undershot expectations repeatedly and seems likely to be well contained going forward. Undershot expectation, जितना expectation है उससे नीचे ही रह रहा है, and seems likely to be well contained going forward. Our projections suggest that CPI is likely to average 3.8% YOY. YOY is what? Year on year. मतलब पिछले साल की तुलना में इस साल. In FY 2020. FY 2020 means financial year 2019 to 2020. So since the food inflation, now see this food inflation, this is in the details, primarily that of food. तो example के details से आप start करेंगे तो sentence का structure गड़बड़ हो जाएगा. That is why you cannot with this. Now, in order to, यानी in order to do something, यहाँ पे देखें sentence, the CPI trajectory has undershot expectations and our projections suggest that this. कहीं पे reason की बात नहीं हो रही है. So since reason is not there, so in order to नहीं हो सकता है. Similarly, to contain the मतलब contain करने के लिए, again the same meaning, in order to contain. Now, in order to वाली चीज़ अगर नहीं है तो ये भी नहीं है. So none of these. So our answer is, Rajan, the answer, if you have answered 2 to which question? Let me see. Okay, yes, if your answer was to question number 13, 2. Yes, question number 13 ka answer 2 is correct. But question number 14 is only, none of these. No, option 4 will not do. Option 5, because 1 भी नहीं हो रहा है, 2 भी नहीं हो रहा है, 3 भी नहीं हो रहा है. So our answer will be none of these. और इसमें कोई choice नहीं है none of the above का, so this goes none of these. Now let us move on to question number 15. E-buses. E-buses के बारे में question है, देखिए. E-buses may be new in India, but they definitely aren't in China. Bustling Shenzhen, a high-tech metropolis of 12 million, is the world's first city to go all electric. Now, to go electric. Now, here note this, the usage of this infinitive. Shenzhen is the world's first city to go all electric. मतलब ऐसा करने वाला. ये to go reason वाला नहीं है. और sentence को आप शुरू कब करते हैं इस तरह से? To go electric करके generally जब reason रहता है in order to के sense में. या इसको अगर हम सब्जेक्ट बना दें तो यहाँ दोनों में से कोई भी फिट कर नहीं कर रहा, बिकॉज टू गो ऑल इलेक्ट्रिक तो फिर इसका प्रेडिकेट क्या होगा, यू वोंट गेट, सो यू कांट गो फॉर दिस. देन अनलाइक इंडिया चाइना इज नॉट. अनलाइक ही तो हो रहा था बात, दे आरंट, सो अनलाइक इंडिया. सो अनलाइक इंडिया चाइना इज नॉट न्यू टू e-buses. पहले सेंटेंस को हम इस तरह से लिख सकते हैं, ई बसेस में बी न्यू इन इंडिया बट दे डेफिनेटली आरंट इन चाइना. इसको हम कह सकते हैं अनलाइक इंडिया चाइना इज नॉट न्यू टू ई बसेस. एंड देन एक्सप्लेन द होल थिंग. बसलिंग शेंजन, तो एक डैश दे दें एंड देन से द सेकेंड सेंटेंस, bustling Shenzhen, and the whole sentence. A high-tech metropolis of 12 million is the world's first city to go all electric. पहले सेंटेंस में जो बात है उसको दूसरे से एक्सप्लेन कर रहे हैं और एक्सप्लेनेशन के लिए एक डैश काफी होता है इस तरह से. सो सेकेंड तो फिट हो जा रहा है. नाउ लेट अस सी थर्ड. इंडिया कैन नॉट, और यहां पे क्या था, आरंट, तो मीनिंग ही बदल जाएगा. अगर हम आरंट की जगह कैन नॉट कर दें तो मीनिंग ही बदल जाएगा. सो 15 कैन ओनली बी कंबाइंड विद द स्टार्टर नंबर 2. सो 15 का आंसर क्या हो जाएगा, ओनली 2. चलिए इसके बाद हम आगे बढ़ते हैं. क्वेश्चन नंबर 16 to 20. Each question is a set of 3 or 4 sentences which convey an idea. पहला सेंटेंस यहाँ दिया हुआ है और फोर्थ यहाँ या थर्ड यहाँ दिया हुआ है, बीच में एक या दो और आएगा. अगर एक आता है then it's a set of 3 sentences. अगर दो आता है then it becomes a set of 4 sentences. That is why the direction, each question is a set of 3 or 4 sentences which convey an idea. Of these, 1 or 2 is are suppressed. ये suppressed sentence को दिखा रहा है, the dots. So 1 or 2 is or are suppressed. यहाँ पे 2 sentences दिए गए हैं. इसमें से to fill up the spaces of the suppressed sentence or sentences जो भी है दबा हुआ, to 2 possible fillers denoted by 1 and 2 are given. Find out which 1, 2 or none can fill up the space of the suppressed sentence to make the paragraph meaningful and mark your answer accordingly. Caution भी है. While marking your answer, please also consider the sequence of the sentences if both the sentences are required to fill up the spaces. Sequence of the sentence important है, मतलब 1 and 2 और 2 and 1 दोनों अलग चीजें हैं. इस बात का आप ध्यान रखें. यहाँ पे सिर्फ कॉम्बिनेशन से नहीं काम चलेगा, आपको परम्यूटेशन पे भी ध्यान देना है. अभी थोड़ा पढ़ते हैं इसको, देखें क्या होता है. The registration of electors rules in 1960 had allowed overseas voters to register themselves in the electoral rolls of their respective constituencies on the basis of self-attested copies of their passport and a valid visa. Registration of electoral rules in 1960 में क्या provision था, इसको पहले sentence में बताया गया. और last sentence says, with the 2017 amendment, अब इस इन रूल्स में 2017 में amendment हुआ है, and with the 2017 amendment, it has become possible for overseas voters to exercise their franchise remotely from abroad by appointing a proxy, उनके बदले कोई और, to cast the vote on their behalf subject to certain conditions. इन दोनों के बीच कौन सा सेंटेंस फिट हो सकता है? Let us see. They could exercise their franchise. अब ये they किसके लिए, क्या फर्स्ट सेंटेंस में कुछ है उसके लिए they आ सकता है? They could exercise, किसकी बात हो रही है? Had allowed overseas voters to register themselves. Overseas voters अपने आप को उसमें register कर सकते हैं थे. Now they could exercise their franchise. They could मतलब उस रूल के हिसाब से. So 1 तो आ रहा है. They could exercise their franchise in person on production of original passport at the time of voting at the specified polling booth. क्या 2 भी आएगा? No one residing overseas likes to cast his vote. अब यहाँ पे हम पॉजिटिव चल रहे हैं, वोट देने की बात हो रही है. कैसे उसमें प्रोविजन आया? क्या अचानक ये कहते हैं सर्वेश सिंह गुड मॉर्निंग, अचानक ये प्रोविजन आ रहा है इसमें, ये कह रहे हैं नो वन रिसाइडिंग ओवरसीज लाइक्स टू कास्ट. ये बात कहाँ से अचानक आ गई? सो दिस कैन नॉट बी. तो अगर हम एक को फिट कर दें तो काम हो जाता है. रजिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ इलेक्टोरल रूल्स में ये था और उसको फर्दर इलेबोरेट किया. दे मीनिंग ओवरसीज वोटर्स could exercise their franchise इस तरह से. and then with the 2017 amendment it has become possible, एक और possibility आ गई है. so our answer will be what? 16 का 1 only. Question number 17. It's the new player that's stepping hard on the accelerator. Now it's the again introduce करने वाला it's. So it is the new player that is stepping hard on the accelerator, यानी speed बढ़ा रहा है. और उसके बाद कुछ है. And finally, Olectra has also done, मतलब Olectra ने पहले भी कुछ किया होगा, इस बीच में आएगा. Has also done a pilot e-bus run between Delhi and Agra. It's also in the race to supply buses to 14 states and cities, from Pune, which is looking for 125 buses in the next 2 years, to pollution-ridden Delhi, which tendered for 385 e-buses and hopes to have over 1,000 within 2 years. अब ये it's also in the race. ये it personal pronoun है. It is also in the race. मतलब someone is also in the race. Who is that someone? तो ये sentence शुरू में तो नहीं आ सकता है, क्योंकि पहला तो introductory it था. So second को देखें. Olectra Greentech now has 108 electric buses on roads from Himachal Pradesh to Kerala. तो ये जो stepping hard on the accelerator है, किसके बारे में है? Olectra Greentech. तो सबसे पहले तो हमें 2 को लेना पड़ेगा. ये तो आएगा ही. अब उसके बाद देखें क्या 1 को भी रख सकते हैं 2 के बाद. It's also in the race. Olectra Greentech, ये it फिर Olectra Greentech को रेफर कर सकता है. So it's also in the race to supply buses to 14 states and cities. अभी तो 108 इलेक्ट्रिक buses हैं और अब ये सप्लाई कर रहा है 14 states and 2 cities को. From Pune alone 125 in the next 2 years, to Delhi 385. इस तरह से pressing on the accelerator का meaning, stepping hard on the accelerator का meaning और ज़्यादा clear हो रहा है कि Olectra Greentech क्या क्या कर रहा है. So 2 and then 1. 2 के बाद 1 भी आ जाएगा. So then it is what? Olectra has also done a pilot e-bus run between Delhi and Agra. तो इस तरह से 3 sentences से पहले sentence को explain किया गया. So here it becomes 2 and 1. It cannot be 1 and 2. It has to be 2 and 1. So 17 का आंसर क्या होगा? 4. Let us move on to the next question. Progress was made in recognizing the need to research adult development. Adult development पर research करने की ज़रूरत है. There is the need to research adult development. Now, this is being recognized और इस recognition में हम step wise बढ़ रहे हैं. Progress was made. These markers are finally these markers of adulthood status, financial independence, finding a stable job and getting married. ये सब क्या है? Adulthood status. कि इससे पता चलता है कि लोग adult हो गए. Vary across cultures. So ये these markers of adulthood status ये भी कहीं पहले आ रहा होगा. भी देखते हैं. With prominent shifts in the cultural landscape, sexual revolution, women's movement, a shift to a knowledge-based economy, there was an increasing gap between the time individuals finish high school and the time they attain adult roles. अगर इस sentence को हम progress was made के बाद रखें तो कुछ meaning clear नहीं आ रहा. Now, one such attempt led to the theory of emerging adulthood in the US, proposing a new life stage from 18 to 29. अब ये sentence सारा meaning clear कर दे रहा है. अब आप देखें, progress was made in recognizing the need. Progress जो हो रहा है तो stepwise होगा. So one such attempt इसको refer कर रहा है. So we begin with sentence 2. यहाँ पे पहले sentence 2 को डालें. Sorry. Sentence 2. And then led to the theory of emerging adulthood. The theory of emerging adulthood in the US, proposing a new life stage from 18 to 29. अब इस sentence को पढ़ें, sentence 1 को. With prominent shifts in the cultural landscape, जो shift थे, there was an increasing gap between the time, between the time individuals finished high school and the time they attained adult roles. ऐसा नहीं कि high school finish होते ही आप adulthood को पा गए. So there is a concept, क्योंकि इस बीच में एक टाइम गैप है. इंडिविजुअल्स फिनिश्ड हाई स्कूल एंड दे अटेन्ड एडल्ट रोल्स. दैट इज ड्यू टू सेवरल रीजंस. क्या क्या है जो इसमें एक टाइम गैप आ गया है. सो द वर्ड इमर्जिंग, द थ्योरी ऑफ इमर्जिंग एडल्टहुड, तो इस चीज को एक्सप्लेन कर रहा है 1. तो इसलिए 2 के बाद आप 1 रख सकते हैं. एंड देन फाइनली दीज मार्कर्स ऑफ एडल्टहुड स्टेटस, क्या क्या, फाइनेंशियल इंडिपेंडेंस etc., vary across cultures. So what we are getting again is 2 plus 1. So 18 ka answer is 2. We now move on to question number 19. It is often argued there is no point in cutting rates since transmission is inadequate. फिर आ गया रेपो रेट लग रहा है, क्योंकि आजकल रेपो रेट ट्रांसमिशन की बात काफ़ी चल रही है, जो कि आरबीआई तो कट कर देता है रेट, तो बैंक्स कम रेट पे ले रहे हैं, लेकिन बैंक्स इसको फर्दर ट्रांसमिट नहीं करते हैं टू देयर लेंडर्स. तो यही है रेपो रेट ट्रांसमिशन की बात. और इसलिए एक नया कंसेप्ट आ गया है रेपो लिंक्ड लेंडिंग रेट, जो आपने पढ़ा होगा. So it's something regarding that. If it's often argued there is no point in cutting rates since transmission is inadequate. And finally, they do not like to lend long on the basis of short-term money in market borrowing. तो एक they word है जो किसी को refer कर रहा होगा. In banks, pass-through is higher if durable or long-term liquidity is in surplus. But market borrowings, which are more affected by policy rates, now have a larger share. So it is often argued there is no point in doing this. But ये but इसको link कर दे रहा है यहाँ से. So this becomes 2 again, यहाँ पे आ गया. But market borrowings, which are more affected by policy rates, now have a larger share. So there is a point. पहले तो कह दिया there is no point, फिर prove किया but there is a point. और उसको फिर आगे in banks pass-through is higher if durable or long-term liquidity is in surplus. इसको आगे explain किया. इसको आप ऐसे भी देख सकते हैं कि यहाँ पे they word का use हुआ है. So they किसके लिए आया होगा? यहाँ पे तो market borrowings है. They do not like to lend. Market borrowings do not like to lend? नहीं, कोई logic नहीं बनता है. यहाँ पे जो banks है, who will not like to lend or like to lend? Banks. तो इसलिए ये यहाँ से connected है. तो एक और reason है कि 2 के बाद हम क्यों 1 को ले सकते हैं. So what happens? Pradyum Tamrakar, happy Navratri. And happy Navratri to all of you. Pradyum has drawn our attention to this. Manas Meher, good morning. So it's often argued there is no point in cutting rates since transmission is inadequate, but market borrowings, which are more affected by policy rates now, have a larger share. In banks, pass-through is higher if durable or long-term liquidity is in surplus. They do not like to lend long on the basis of short-term market borrowing. So again, 2 and 1. Question number 20, again pass-through. With better pass-through and renewable energy initiatives, India's oil intensity has been falling since 2005. Moreover, foreign portfolio flows to emerging markets have revived. The current account deficit is reducing. Financing this reduced deficit is no longer a problem. ऐसा ही कुछ question अभी पहले आया था in a different form. So अगर इस तरह का कुछ आ जाए, so that is a bonus for you. And then 1 and 2, 2 and 1, 1 only, 2 only, none. अब ये देखिए, with better pass-through and renewable energy initiatives, India's Abhishek Kashyap is having problem with sound. I'll just check it. Yeah, I've asked my technical guys to just check that. So with better pass-through and renewable energy initiatives, I hope the sound is now correct, the right decibel value. With better pass-through and renewable energy initiatives, India's oil intensity has been falling since 2005. ये एक problem paint किया और फिर एक और problem रखा. The current account deficit is reducing. Abhishek Kashyap says, okay, yes, satisfied. The current account deficit is reducing. So 1 comes here. And then financing this reduced deficit Now this is referring to this, is no longer a problem. So 1 plus 2. And moreover, foreign portfolio flows to emerging markets have revived. So it becomes a case of 1 and 2. So 20, yes, Manas Meher has got the correct option. Manas Meher says 1, that's right. And now comes the passage. Boring for some, interesting for others. Depends upon how you view it. Because this is the most important thing. If you learn how to read a passage, you will read articles. And if you read articles, all your problems will go away. You don't have to memorize things if you are good at reading. One who is good at reading will very easily solve the English paper, the kind of questions they are asking now. So passage is perhaps the most important part while you are getting training sessions anywhere, and often ignored because they are big. So people think, let us learn grammar, let us learn grammar, let us cram vocabulary. Vocabulary can't be crammed. Remember that? You learn words by going through them again and again. People often make this mistake of cramming words because you are not a dictionary. You are not a repository of memory. So, yes, Abhishek Kashyap, Manas Meher, Suraj Pal, they both got 1 in the last question. Yes, 1, 20 ka 1 tha. Now we come to question number 21 to 27, and the passage, we have to read the passage. We'll devote some time to this. Read the following passage carefully and answer the questions given below it. Certain words have been printed in bold to help you locate them while answering some questions. Paragraph 1. The Prime Minister's pledge to step down to make way for a successor in time for the next phase of negotiations, that is on the kind of future relations the UK wants to have with the EU. So we are talking about which Prime Minister? The UK Prime Minister. The Prime Minister's pledge to step down to make way for a successor in time for the next phase of negotiations was not enough to shift opinion in her favor. Her, matlab Theresa May. We are talking about Theresa May. So Theresa May ne jo ye kaha ki I'll step down to make way for a successor. Now this was not enough to koshish kiya ki ye keh ke shayad she would shift opinion in her favor, but this was not enough. Itna se kaam nahi chala. As a controversial withdrawal deal kahan se? We are talking UK wants to have with the EU. So this is Brexit. Brexit बहुत बड़ा न्यूज़ रहता है for the past few years और पिछले 1 साल से तो बहुत ही ज़्यादा. So be aware of this Brexit thing. You might get questions somewhere. So was not enough to shift opinion in her favor as a controversial withdrawal deal was defeated by a margin of 58. कैसे withdraw करना है EU से, इस पर जो चर्चा हुई तो 58 votes से वो हार गई. While she lost by a tighter margin than the 2 previous defeats. Previous defeats were much larger, 148 and 230. Now this time she has lost by a tighter margin than the 2 previous defeats, but still it's unlikely that there will be many more MPs from across the political spectrum, यानी उनकी पार्टी के, दूसरी पार्टी के, who are willing to change their minds. अब इससे ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं हो सकता है. इतना तक जाने के बाद अब टेरेसा मे के लिए there is hardly anything. So while some Brexiteers from the Conservative Party, notably Boris Johnson, now Boris Johnson has become the new Prime Minister. So Britain's former and controversial Foreign Secretary, वो पहले फॉरेन सेक्रेटरी होते थे वहाँ के, फॉरेन सेक्रेटरी इक्विवेलेंट टू इंडियाज फॉरेन मिनिस्टर, and Jacob Rees-Mogg, the chair of the right-wing European Research Group, ERG of MPs, decided that the prospect of a new prime minister assuaged their concerns about the backstop. Other purists won't change their mind under any circumstance. So while, now this is a big sentence, इसको थोड़ा तोड़ के देखें तो काम आसान होगा. While some Brexiteers from the Conservative Party, और बाकी को आप bracket में छोड़ दें, बल्कि I'll put the bracket like this. While some Brexiteers from the Conservative Party, ये सब को आप bracket में ले लें. And now the sentence becomes quite clear. While some Brexiteers from the Conservative Party decided that the prospect of a new Prime Minister assuaged their concerns about the backstop, और दूसरा backstop तो already है ही, यहाँ एक कॉमा लगा या एक स्लैश लगा दें just for the sake of understanding. While ये part, other purists won't change their mind under any circumstances unless the backstop is got rid of entirely or can be exited by Britain unilaterally. अब यहाँ पे बैकस्टॉप थोड़ा समझना जरूरी है. अगर बैकस्टॉप नहीं समझेंगे तो काफ़ी दिक्कत आती रहेगी. इन द विड्रॉल एग्रीमेंट टू प्रिवेंट द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ अ हार्ड बॉर्डर ऑन द आइलैंड ऑफ आयरलैंड. नाउ दिस इज सेल्फ एक्सप्लेनेटरी. बैकस्टॉप क्लॉज है उस विड्रॉल एग्रीमेंट में जो ब्रेग्जिट की बात चल रही है. ब्रेग्जिट का एग्रीमेंट क्या है कि ब्रिटेन को यूरोपियन यूनियन ईयू से बाहर निकलना है. तो उसमें एक क्लॉज है जिसको बोलते हैं बैकस्टॉप क्लॉज. To prevent the development of a hard border on the island of Ireland. अब यहाँ पे मज़ेदार बात ये है कि यूके में ये आपका ब्रिटेन है, इसमें आपका इंग्लैंड है, स्कॉटलैंड है, वेल्स है, ये सब मिलके यूके यूनाइटेड किंगडम बनाते हैं. और जो आयरलैंड है वो दो हिस्से में बटा है. इतना मैप इज नॉट टू स्केल ऑफ कोर्स. सो दिस इज व्हाट नॉर्दर्न आयरलैंड एंड दिस इज आयरलैंड. Much like Kashmir problem. So this Northern Ireland is a part of this UK. और ये जो Ireland है, this is a separate country. Ireland is a separate country, and Northern Ireland is part of this Britain. So what they say कि ये जो border रहेगा, Northern Ireland बाकी, now Ireland is part of EU. तो अगर आप EU छोड़ते हैं तो फिर यहां से भी कॉन्टैक्ट खत्म होगा. बट द बैकस्टॉप क्लॉज सेज दैट नो डेवलपमेंट ऑफ अ हार्ड बॉर्डर. नहीं, यहां पे दिस बॉर्डर विल रिमेन पोरस. लेकिन अगर ये पोरस रहेगा तो फिर ईयू से आपका कॉन्टैक्ट तो बना ही हुआ है. सो दैट इज द काइंड ऑफ कंफ्यूजन. सो बैकस्टॉप क्लॉज सेज दैट अ हार्ड बॉर्डर विल नॉट बी डेवलप्ड ऑन द आइलैंड ऑफ आयरलैंड. और इसके चलते काफ़ी मतभेद है जो हम आगे देखेंगे. क्योंकि अगर ये पोरस है, इनका कांटेक्ट बना रहेगा, तो फिर ये दोनों आपस में मिल जा सकते हैं, इसका डर है. और यूके से ये चला जाएगा तो आयरलैंड, पूरा नॉर्दर्न आयरलैंड इनके हाथ से निकल जाएगा, इसका डर है. अभी हम आगे देखेंगे कैसे ये हो रहा है. Now paragraph 2, the EU has made clear that this is not up for negotiation. European Union की तरफ से it's a strict no. No, we are not going to negotiate on this. This clause will remain. Among those who continue to oppose it is Suella Braverman MP, a Goan origin conservative, who is also a prominent member of the ERG, European Research Group. The simple truth is that this deal is not Brexit. जब आप ये border रहने ही दे रहे हैं, then where is Brexit? You're still a part of EU. She told MPs during a debate earlier this year. The deal continues our subjugation to EU laws during the implementation period, transition period, and the backstop, she told MPs earlier this year. Priti Patel, another former cabinet minister, also continued to oppose the deal. The deal would deny the British people and our parliament the sovereign right to choose our future and be in control of our destiny. मतलब कहीं ना कहीं तो हम EU से बंधे रहेंगे ही, ऐसा ये लोग कह रहे हैं. जब तक ये backstop clause रहेगा तो हम कहीं ना कहीं EU से बंधे रहेंगे. Paragraph 3. While the ERG and the Democratic Unionist Party, DUP of Northern Ireland, had often been lumped together as opponents of the deal on the basis of the backstop. Backstop पे जो इनका विरोध था उसके चलते इनको, they were lumped together. They were put together as a lump, as opponents of the deal. The differences between them became very apparent in the last few days as the assurances that dashed the likes of Rees-Mogg. अब ये A, इस तरह के आजकल काफ़ी ट्रेंड चल गया, बीच में A, B, C, D, काफ़ी A से J तक कई बार रहता है, 10 क्वेश्चन उन पे होते हैं. तो कुछ इस पे क्वेश्चन होगा और पूरा पैसेज का मीनिंग आपको तत्काल क्लियर नहीं होगा right then, because it may be a filler, it may be something which you'll get to see in the questions. So don't be worried about that. Just move ahead and get an essence of the passage, get an idea of the passage. As the assurances that the likes of Rees-Mogg and Johnson had little impact on them. This is because they fear that entering the backstop, customs union arrangements the UK would enter into if talks on future relations broke down. The backstop is what? इसमें ये है कि अगर आगे फिर कुछ हो गया बढ़िया तब तो ठीक है, नहीं तो कम से कम backstop तो रहेगा, that the barrier would not be broken down. And so Northern Ireland and Ireland country, उनके बीच होता रहेगा, customs union arrangements रहेगा. So could risk the unity of the United Kingdom by potentially keeping Northern Ireland aligned with the Republic of Ireland and hence the EU. तो फिर ऐसे में तो Northern Ireland EU Ireland से aligned रह ही गया, EU से aligned रह ही गया, while Great Britain, that is England, Scotland and Wales, ये जो main island हमने बताया था आपको पीछे, this is Great Britain. तो ये तो रह ही गया. Went a different course. So Ireland, उधर चले, Northern Ireland शायद इनसे टूट जाए. So strong is that sentiment that they have indicated that they'd be willing to keep the UK in the EU if necessary to avoid that happening. मतलब Brexit नहीं होना मंजूर है. They are ready to accept European Union. We won't accept a Brexit if this clause is there because it's the integrity of our country that is at problem. That's how the Britishers think. In the integrity is at stake. So I would stay in the European Union and remain rather than risk Northern Ireland's position. Northern Ireland's a big problem. That's how strongly I feel about the Union, Nigel Dodds, MP and the DUP's deputy leader, told the BBC's Newsnight programme ahead of the vote. Paragraph 4. The Labour Party has throughout opposed the withdrawal agreement as a bad deal for Britain. It's particularly scathing about the political declaration on future relations that accompanies the offer of the withdrawal treaty because अब देखिए ये 1, 2, 3, 4 ये generally क्या होता है कि उसको अगर change करना है इन दो words को, किन दो words को change करें या no change चाहिए तो sentence का meaning clear हो जाएगा. तो इससे थोड़ा अटपटा लग सकता है but we'll move ahead. It's particularly scathing क्योंकि फिर question के समय हम यहाँ पे आएंगे. It's particularly scathing. Scathing आप जानते हैं scathing criticism मतलब बहुत severe criticism. So it's particularly scathing about the political declaration on future relations that accompanies the offer of the withdrawal treaty because of its limit and failure to take adequate protections, etc., etc. They would also prefer that the UK was in a customs union with the EU and closely aligned with the single market. So Labour Party तो withdrawal के favor में है ही नहीं. It has been throughout opposed the withdrawal agreement. They would prefer that the UK was in a customs union with the EU. Northern Ireland, Ireland की तो बात छोड़िए, पूरा UK ही customs union में रहे with the EU. Customs आप समझ रहे हैं जो duty, custom duty की बात हो रही है कि उन पे and closely aligned with the single market. तो इनके बीच में किसी तरह का बैरियर ना हो. While some of its MPs, particularly in those in leave voting constituencies, ये leave और remain ये दो word पे ध्यान देना है. When we talk about Brexit, now these two words are very important. एक पार्टी है remain, दूसरा पार्टी है पार्टी नहीं मतलब एक क्या कहें एक धड़ा है. There is a thinking. Now these two represent the streams of thinking, we can say. So there is one stream of thinking which prefers that Britain should remain in the EU. For them, this word remain is used. And there is other stream of thinking which believes that if Britain remains in the EU, its interests are being thwarted. So it should better leave. और उसके लिए ये आ जाता है आपका leave. So remain and leave ये दो word अक्सर आपको मिलेंगे capital R, capital L. तो इनका ध्यान रखें. Yes, where were we? While some of its MPs, particularly those in leave voting constituencies, small से भी काम चल रहा है, in leave voting constituencies, ऐसे constituencies में जहाँ vote पड़ रहा है leave के लिए, यानी वहाँ से निकलने के लिए, have been going against the party lines. So overall क्या है? Labour Party is remain. Labour Party. It's in the remain group, but there are some leave voting constituencies, वहाँ के भी MPs हैं. So they have been going against the party line and voting with May. May means Theresa May. Her decision, Theresa May says, we need Brexit, we need to come out, we need to leave. Her decision to step down early is unlikely to persuade any of those who would be wavering to change their mind. तो ये नाटक करने से काम नहीं चलेगा. I am resigning. अभी तो ऑलरेडी हो चुका है ये सब, ये पैसेज थोड़ा पीछे का है. सो हर डिसीजन टू स्टेप डाउन, उनका ये नाटक था कि कुछ हद तक लोग ऐसा फील करते थे. वी डोंट नो व्हाट वाज द रियलिटी. शी माइट बी she might be doing this on the basis of principles, but in politics, as the perception is that principles hardly matter, that's the common perception. So people always think some drama is going on. So that's how the passage is written. So her decision to step down early is unlikely to persuade any of those who would be wavering to change their mind. Wavering, vacillating, kabhi haan, kabhi na. That's okay. Remain, leave, remain. That kind of confusion is going on in their minds. Now, paragraph 5. This is because, with the race to become May's successor now open, there's a chance that a real hardliner like Johnson could become Prime Minister. In fact, this proved to be true, taking the future relationship in a different direction altogether. With the race to become May's successor now open, there's a chance, लोगों को ये लग रहा था, that a real hardliner like Johnson could become Prime Minister, taking the future relationship in a different direction altogether. Johnson, who is the most popular among Conservative Party members to dash from May, though he struggles to convince enough of his parliamentary colleagues, is among those known to have been pushing for the loosest of ties with the EU. Now, Brexit तो ठीक है, but even among Brexiteers, there are hardcore Brexiteers. And there are softcore Brexiteers. So Theresa May is among the softer ones who thinks that yes, we'll have Brexit, but there will be certain relations. Whereas people like Johnson think that there will be the loosest of ties. जो tie होगा वो बहुत ही ढीला होगा, यानी बहुत ही कम relation बचेगा between Britain and EU. So the future may be going in that direction with people like Boris Johnson at the helm. Is among those known to have been pushing for the loosest of ties with the EU in the future and isn't averse to crashing out without a deal at all if need be. Prime Minister Boris Johnson, the new Prime Minister, is not averse to crashing out. Passage में, of course, new Prime Minister नहीं बना है तब तक है कि if Johnson becomes the Prime Minister, the future may go in the other direction because Johnson isn't averse to his preference is that he may crash out without a deal at all if need be. No Brexit. Seedha khatam, no deal Brexit. All in all, this means that May's deal has gone about as far as it can go. Now we have seen as far as it can go. Why? Because 230 ka margin, 148 ka margin, 58 ka margin. 58 का margin, that's the best possible scenario. अब इससे ज़्यादा इनके लिए स्थिति सुधर नहीं सकती. She can't dream of having something better than this. So in any case, she is going to lose, and she did lose, in fact. She had to resign. So all in all, this means that May's deal has gone about as far as it can go, not beyond this. A point acknowledged by her response to the defeat on Friday. She promised to continue to push for an orderly exit that respected the results of the referendum. Because the real problem lies, the root cause lies with the referendum, which says that yes, leave. And that was by a thin margin. And people had not gone into details what would be the repercussions. Generally this happens. Because when we talk about is Kashmir rakho, Kashmir nahi rakho, people don't know the details. So it depends upon how politicians take the issue. Now, what would be the advantage? What would be the disadvantage? Not everyone understands that thoroughly, or what would be the technical problems. So similarly with now Brexit is much more serious a problem. Paragraph 6. Significantly, she did not refer to the 2017 Conservative manifesto that had pledged to take the UK out of the customs union and single market, suggesting she knows that customs union membership in particular will be one of the options on the table now. तो अपने मैनिफेस्टो के चीज़ों को भी बहुत सीरियसली लोगों के पास नहीं रखा है, थोड़ा सा मैनिपुलेट करने का कोशिश किया है. This option is favored by many in business and sectors such as auto that believes it would be the least disruptive to supply chains and trade with the EU. मतलब customs union बनाए रखो. But the Conservative manifesto has pledged to take the UK out of the customs union. So this is again another important issue, और backstop भी कहीं ना कहीं इसी से related है, ये customs union. So this option is favored by many. लोग चाहते हैं कि customs union बना रहे. In many in business and sectors such as auto, that believes it would be the least disruptive to supply chains. If we continue with that, then the supply chains won't disrupt. Good morning, Subodh Kumar. And trade with the EU. Remaining in the customs union was one of the options that fared the best in the indicative voting process, in which MPs rejected all the options on the table. So this was one of the options. Remaining in the customs, ठीक है और चीजें नहीं मानना, लेकिन customs union तो बनाए रखो. This was defeated by just a margin of 8 MPs. It's a very slender margin. It was defeated, but a very slender margin. And with just 536 of 625 MPs voting on it, it's possible that in the future, more could swing in favor. 536 of 625 and a margin of 8. So, agar 625 पूरे vote करें, तो very easily this margin can swing. The indicative votes architects are hoping to bring a shorter list of options back to Parliament in the hope they'll pick a course forward. So that is what the passage is all about, Brexit wala passage. But the questions are not as difficult. If the passage seems difficult to you, don't worry, because questions are not that difficult. So that is one thing that in your life, as well as in exams like this, you have to remember, just because you get something difficult initially, doesn't mean, so you don't have to lose heart, because things later may prove to be much easier. So those who are willing to go through the grind, those who are willing to take those initial, शुरू में बुमराह का ओवर आ रहा है, बुमराह के कुछ ओवर को किसी तरह से खेल लो, then there will be other bowlers who will not be that deadly, and you can make runs. So that's how batsmen do. That's the strategy batsmen follow while scoring. And that's the strategy you should follow in exam as well as in life. So don't be worried when you get something difficult. Just go through it and see कि आगे क्या है. So now we come to question 21. Ramayodhya Singh, good morning. Here are the questions for you. We have gone through the passage. For those who have joined late, we have gone through the passage, and now we are going to the question answer session. Why did Prime Minister Theresa May decide to step down well before the next phase of negotiations? A, because she is really fed up with the nasty behavior of some of her party members. B, because she wanted to shift opinion in her favor. C, because she really wanted to make way for a successor in time for the next phase of negotiations. Now here, we have to sift between the real intent and the proposed one. सही में क्या intention था और क्या जो passage के हिसाब से. The Prime Minister's pledge to step down to make way for a successor in time, ये यहाँ पे answer है. In time for the next phase of negotiations was not enough to shift opinion in her favor. Not enough to shift opinion in her favor. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? कि Prime Minister was doing this merely to make the opinion shift in her favor. ये उनका उद्देश्य है और ये to pledge to step down to make way for a successor in time for the next phase of negotiations. ये बस ऐसे ही कह रही हैं. मेन कहाँ पे है? मेन उनका जो है इंटेंशन वो ये है कि टू शिफ्ट ओपिनियन इन अ फेवर, इसलिए रेजिग्नेशन की बात कर रही हैं. सो इफ वी गो बैक टू दैट क्वेश्चन, because she is really fed up with the nasty behavior? नहीं, ये तो है ही नहीं. Because she wanted to shift opinion in her favor. Yes, this is the thing. And see, because she really wanted to make way for a successor in time? No, that is just the said reason, but as the author thinks that the real reason is here, B. So the answer will be only B. Then we come to, so that's 21 ka 2. Yes, you can give your answers. 21 is 2. अब 22 पे आते हैं. Question number 22. Which of the following can best be inferred from paragraph 2? तो एक बार paragraph 2 को हम पहले पढ़ लें जरा. But before that, let's go through the choices. A. The ERG members vehemently oppose the upcoming negotiations on the pretext that the British people and their parliament will lose the sovereign right to choose their future. B. The deal goes totally against the sovereignty of the European Union, EU. C. That Suella Braverman and Priti Patel, former cabinet minister, are the only members who oppose the negotiations on Brexit. तो इससे पहले थोड़ा पैराग्राफ 2 को आप पढ़ लें. Paragraph 2. It starts here. The EU has made clear that this is not up for negotiation, a backstop clause. Among those who continue to oppose it is Suella Braverman MP, a Goan origin conservative, who is also a prominent member of the ERG. The simple truth is that this deal is not Brexit, she told MPs during a debate earlier this year. The deal continues our subjugation to EU laws during the implementation period, transition period, and the backstop, she told MPs earlier this year. Priti Patel, another former cabinet minister, also continued to oppose the deal. The deal would deny the British people and our parliament the sovereign right to choose our future and be in control of our destiny, she told the House of Commons. तो इतना यहाँ पे है, अब इसके हिसाब से हमें वहाँ पे आंसर निकालना है. The ERG members vehemently oppose the upcoming negotiations on the pretext that the British people and their parliament will lose the sovereign right to choose their future. ERG members, and they will lose the sovereign right to choose their future. So ERG members, among those prominent member of the ERG, Suella Braverman, or again Priti Patel. Now these are ERG members. And they say that the deal would deny the British people and our parliament the sovereign right to choose our future and be in control of our destiny. तो यही बात वहाँ पे कही जा रही है. The ERG members vehemently oppose the upcoming negotiations on the pretext that the British people and their parliament will lose the sovereign right to choose their future. So this is being inferred. The deal goes totally against the sovereignty of the European Union. Now, we are talking about the sovereignty of Britain, not the sovereignty of the European Union. So this goes away. And that Suella Braverman and Priti Patel, former, are they only members? Are they the only members? The passage doesn't say anything about that. The passage says that these two members oppose the negotiations. But whether they are the only members, others are not doing, that is not being said. So even this goes away. So our answer is what? Only A. Question number 23. Which of the following words given in the options should come at the place marked as A in the third paragraph to make the sentence? उस समय आपको बताया था there are certain blanks numbered A, B, C, etc. As A in the third paragraph to make the sentence grammatically correct and meaningful. Also the same word can be filled in both the sentences given below to make them contextually correct and meaningful. Stayed, swayed, collided, thought, provoked. और पैसेज पैराग्राफ 3 में चलें. Yes, ये है A. While the ERG and the Democratic Unionist Party of Northern Ireland had often been lumped together as opponents, the differences between them became very apparent as the assurances that dashed the likes of Rees-Mogg and Johnson had little impact on them. Assurances that dashed the likes of Rees-Mogg and Johnson. Assurances that dashed the likes of Rees-Mogg and Johnson. Assurances that stayed, swayed, collided, thought, that dash the collided तो नहीं हो सकता and thought नहीं हो सकता because that dash the like object चाहिए हमें. Object यहाँ पे मिल नहीं रहा है उसका. So collided and thought go away. Now we have two more clues here. So maybe these are easier clues. Let's go through that. Accustomed, and this is a long sentence. Why not go with the shorter sentence? He dashed like a drunken man, taking some steps forward and back to save himself from falling. So drunken man does what? Stay, some steps forward and back. That is staying? No. Provoke? No. Swayed. To sway means to swing. So he swayed like a drunken man. एक बार इधर, एक बार उधर. Some steps forward and then backward. Now that is kind of, he swayed like a drunken man, taking some steps forward and back to save himself from falling. Amply clear from this that 2 answer होगा. अगर सूरज पाल has a question there. अगर हम सारे पैराग्राफ को ना रीड करके सिर्फ क्वेश्चन जिस क्वेश्चन से आए वही पढ़ें तो सही अप्रोच होंगे एग्जाम में. हो सकता है अगर उससे आपका काम हो जाता है तो हो सकता है, लेकिन अगर आपको लग रहा है कि नहीं इतना से काम नहीं हो रहा है तो फिर पूरे पैराग्राफ को जरूर पढ़ें. सी whichever strategy works for you, whichever strategy works for you, वो आपका शॉर्टकट होगा, आपका अपना तरीका होगा, वो करें. लेकिन ये सब आप तभी ओवर द विकेट बॉलिंग करने से ज़्यादा विकेट मिलेंगे या राउंड द विकेट करने से. देयर इज़ नो क्लियर कट रूल. ये कैसे डिसाइड होता है, हर बॉलर अपना तय करता है. सो यू हैव टू, एंड दैट इज़ व्हाट प्रैक्टिस सेट्स आर देयर फॉर. प्रैक्टिस सेट्स को सॉल्व करके आप देखिए कि आपके लिए कौन सा अप्रोच काम देता है. हम जब आपको यहाँ सिखाएंगे तो कॉपी बुक स्टाइल जरूर बताएंगे पूरा, क्योंकि हर खिलाड़ी का अलग अलग स्टाइल से दैट कैन ओनली बी डन थ्रू इंडिविजुअल मेंटरिंग, और इंडिविजुअल मेंटरिंग क्लास में नहीं हो सकता है. सो फॉर दैट you will be given a copy book स्टाइल में कैसे कर सकते हैं, और उसके बाद आप अपना अप्रोच अलग अलग तरह से ट्राई करते रहिए. लाइफ के प्रति भी यही नज़रिया, हर आदमी को अपना तरीका होता है जीवन जीने का, और कोई अगर कहे कि नहीं ऐसे ही जी सकते हो, सो दैट वुड बी अ फॉल्स काइंड ऑफ टीचिंग. तो इसलिए इस पे आप ध्यान दें. आप इसको अपना सकते हैं, बिल्कुल कोई परेशानी नहीं है इसमें. अगर इफ़ यू आर नॉट रीडिंग द एंटायर, जहाँ जहाँ क्वेश्चन है वहाँ पढ़िए और जल्दी से आप वहाँ पहुँच सकते हैं. बिकॉज मे बी यू आर अवेयर ऑफ द टॉपिक, लेकिन जो टॉपिक से नहीं अवेयर हैं वो अगर अचानक चाहेंगे कि वहाँ पे उस पैराग्राफ पे ही फोकस करें, सो विल नॉट गेट द आइडिया ऑफ द होल. बट समवन हु नोज ब्रेग्जिट से जो अवेयर हैं, वो हो सकता है ही मे हिट जस्ट एट द पॉइंट एंड देन गेट द आंसर. फॉर हिम टाइम विल बी सेव्ड. सो एज आई सेड, रीडिंग सेव्स योर टाइम. पहले अगर आप रीडिंग करते रहे हैं तो. So he swayed like a drunken man, accustomed freely and feared. अब देखिए, कोई सिर्फ ये जैसे टाइम बचाना, सिर्फ ये सेंटेंस करके भी काम कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि बाकी कोई फिट ही नहीं हो रहा है तो यही होगा. So that's what the shortcut is all about. So but when we are learning, we go through all the possible options. Accustomed freely and fearlessly to investigate whatever came before him, and swayed by a scrupulous dread of insincerity, he was doomed to long and anxious hesitation concerning some of the fundamental points of theology before arriving at a firm conviction of the truth of Christianity. तो ये भी हो रहा है. और वहाँ पे अगर हम देखें तो the assurances that swayed the likes of Remog and Johnson, यानी उनके व्यू को एक तरफ से दूसरी तरफ ले जाना कि ठीक है पहले तो नहीं तैयार थे, बाद में तैयार हो गए, या तैयार थे नहीं तैयार हैं. तो दैट इज स्वेइंग. सो स्वे सब जगह फिट हो रहा है, एंड दैट इज व्हाई आवर आंसर विल बी 2. देन वी कम टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 24. The sentence marked as B in paragraph 4 has 4 words in bold letters. Amongst the given bold words, which of the following must replace each other to make the sentence contextually correct and meaningful? वो 4 वर्ड वहाँ दिए रहते हैं, उनमें से किन 2 को हम रिप्लेस करें. कभी कभी 2 पेयर्स भी होते हैं, तो किन 2 को हम रिप्लेस करें तो मीनिंग क्लियर हो जाएगा. सो लेट अस गो टू पैराग्राफ 4. Yes, this is paragraph 4. Just go through the sentence B and see कि 1, 2, 3, 4 में किसको किसको हम replace करें तो हमारा काम हो जाएगा. It's particularly scathing about the political declaration. ये तो meaning आ रहा है. On future relations that accompanies the offer of the withdrawal treaty because of its limited nature and its failure to text adequate protections. Text करना है, किसी को मैसेज करना है, no. The failure to, अब कौन सा वर्ब हो सकता है यहाँ पे, दूसरा वर्ब कौन सा है, ऑफर. तो इनको हम इंटरचेंज करके देखते हैं, मीनिंग निकलता है नहीं. It is particularly scathing about the political declaration in future relations that accompanies the text of the withdrawal treaty. Withdrawal treaty का तो text होगा, जो agreement है उसका text. So the text of the withdrawal treaty because of its limited nature and its failure to offer adequate protections on workers' rights and the environment. So 2 and 4 को change करना है. 2-4, this is the answer. 2-4. Then we come to question number 25. Which of the following phrases should fill the blank C in paragraph 5 to make the sentence contextually correct and meaningful? Makeover, turnout, takeover, overtake, run over. अभी देखते हैं paragraph 5 में. Johnson, who is the most popular among Conservative Party members, to dash from May. So Johnson is to, basically sentence क्या हो गया? Johnson is the most popular to dash from May. अब वहाँ पे इसको लिख लें हम. Johnson, most popular को भी छोड़ सकते हैं, is to dash from May. May, of course, Theresa May. And Johnson is Boris Johnson. So Boris Johnson is to dash from May. Makeover. Makeover का क्या मतलब होता है? Image makeover करते हैं. मतलब change करना. You change something. So that is makeover. And then makeover generally image के sense में. You make over. And run over. Run over is something spills over. Like the cup is running over. मतलब पानी से पूरा भर गया and then its water is falling down. So the cup is running over. So that is run over. Turnout आप जानते हैं इस इलेक्शन में turnout कैसा रहा? क्लास में turnout कैसा है? And overtake. Now overtake are not two words. It's one word. Overtake. But यहाँ overtake there doesn't make sense. Then you have takeover. ये takeover क्या होता है? A takes over from B. Like Virat Kohli took over from Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Indian team का charge. So you take over. मतलब the new incumbent comes in. So take over. Now Johnson is to take over from May. यही meaning दे रहा है. Clear sense. Manas Meher 2-4 पिछले question के लिए. Yes, Manas Meher. Question number 24. 2-4. Your answer is correct. And for question 25, it is 3 takeover. Question number 26. In paragraph 6, a sentence D is given in italics. There may or may not be an error in any one part of the sentence. Choose the part which has an error in it as your answer. If there is no error, then choose option 5 as your answer. Now, this is the sentence that is given there in sentence D. And उसको split करके यहाँ पे दिया गया है. And we have to see किस part में error है. This option is favored by many in business and sectors such as auto that believes it would be the least disruptive to supply chains and trade with the EU. Manas Meher says 3. In पिछले question क्या कर रहे हैं? Yes, question number 25 का 3 सही है. Now we are coming to question number 24. ये किसके लिए आया है? Believes. Many. So many believes or many believe. So many in business and sectors such as auto that believe की जगह that believe. This option is favored by many in business and sectors such as auto that believe it would be the least disruptive to supply chains and trade with the EU. So 2 is the answer. Error किस में है? तो 2 में है. Then we have question number 27. Choose the word most similar in meaning to the word printed in bold as used in the passage. Fared, charged, performed, played, opted, collected. देखते हैं fared word कैसे use हुआ है. Yes, here is the word fared. Remaining in the customs union was one of the options that fared the best. The option that fared the best. The option that fared the best. तो यहाँ क्या है? The option that charged the best, that performed the best, played the best, opted the best, collected the best. तो यहाँ performed आता है क्योंकि how did you एक word आपने देखा होगा, लोग आपसे पूछते हैं how did you fare in the exam? तो ये क्या है? How did you perform in the exam? एक और वर्ड अक्सर आपने सुना है farewell. जैसे ही क्लास खत्म होता है तो लोग फेयरवेल पार्टी देते हैं. ये फेयरवेल कहाँ से आया? फेयर दी farewell. So आप कह रहे हैं सामने वाले को that you go, and when you go, we hope that you fare well. So we are giving this, we are wishing you to fare well in your life, to perform well in your life. So fare well becomes farewell. So this is what farewell. How did you fare in the exam? ये fare सारा perform वाला meaning दे रहा है, performance. Then we have what? Now we come to the last three questions. Directions, question 28 to 30. Read each sentence to find out whether there is any grammatical error in it. The error, if any, will be in one part of the sentence. The number of that part is the answer. If there is no error, the answer is 5. That is, no error. Ignore the errors of punctuation, if any. Even as the Supreme Court takes stock of the situation, voters need to be aware of the shadow role of money power as they exercise their franchise. अब इसमें देखिए कहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम है. Even as the Supreme Court takes stock of the situation, voters need to be aware of what? Of the shadow role. What is shadow role? Role itself is noun. So shadow role of shadow? No. इसको एक adjective की तलाश है. And so this should be what? This can be shadowy, or better still, this can be shady. So the shady role of money power, the shadowy role of money power as they exercise their franchise. So where is the problem? Problem lies in 3. 28 is 3. Even as the Supreme Court takes stock of the situation, voters need to be aware of the shadowy role or shady role of money power as they exercise their franchise. Then we come to question number 29. As a demand squeeze has more effect on output than it does on inflation. अब does का meaning क्या है यहाँ पे? Has. Than it does have. तो इसलिए ये तो correct है. Than it does on inflation. As a demand squeeze has more effect on output than it has on inflation, there is a high output cost of increasing the output gap fighting inflation. There is a high output cost of what? Of increasing the output gap fighting inflation. Something is wrong here. As a demand squeeze has more effect on output than it does on inflation, there is a high output cost of increasing the output gap to fight inflation. So this fighting becomes what? इसकी जगह आ जाता है to fight. तो कहाँ पे problem है? Problem 4 में. And then you have, now we are coming to the last question, question number 30. PSUs were asked to expand borrowing since credit growth to private industry was negative and will retreat as the latter revives. PSUs were asked to expand borrowing. PSU से कहा गया to borrowing को expand कीजिए. Since credit growth to private industries was negative. Private industry credit ले नहीं रही है तो credit कहाँ बढ़ेगा? PSU में, public sector units में. So PSUs were asked to expand borrowing since credit growth to private industry was negative and will retreat. Now PSUs will retreat as the latter revives. Latter means what? बाद में किसका चाहिए? PSU, private industry. So PSUs are the former, and private industries is the latter, as the latter revives. So इस sentence का meaning पूरा निकल रहा है. PSUs were asked to expand borrowing since credit growth to private industry was negative and will retreat as the latter revives. So this question, there is no error in this sentence. So 3, 4, 5. Manas Meher got the answer correct, 29 ka bhi, to fight. So I think that's the end. Yes, 30. Yes, that's the last question that we have, 30. इस तरह से पूरे आपके 30 questions के practice हो गए. यशस्वी सिंह का question है, sir, when should we attempt RC, whether in first or in last? देखिए, अगर आपका बाकी grammar part और vocabulary part ये सब अच्छा है, then I'd suggest that you attempt RC at last. और क्योंकि आरसी लंबा होता है, थोड़ा सा अक्सर पढ़ना पड़ जाता है. कभी कभी आप डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चंस को कर सकते हैं, जैसे सूरज पाल ने पूछा था, तो कभी कभी आप वैसे भी अटेम्प्ट कर सकते हैं, बट नॉट ऑलवेज. सो इट्स बेटर कि अगर आपका ग्रामर और वोकैबुलरी पार्ट अच्छा है तो आरसी को आप लास्ट में अटेम्प्ट करें, जिससे कि टाइम आपका टाइम यूटिलाइज हो ठीक ढंग से. लेकिन अगर आपका ग्रामर और वोकैबुलरी पुअर है तो कई बार रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन आसान भी पड़ता है. तो अगर आपको लगे कि क्वेश्चंस उधर नहीं बन रहे हैं, उस केस में 2-4 क्वेश्चन को देख के फिर आप आरसी की तरफ जा सकते हैं, क्योंकि आरसी आसान इसलिए कई बार पड़ता है कि डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चंस वहां से मिल जाते हैं. जैसे आपको उसको बहुत ज़्यादा समझने की कोशिश नहीं, यू डोंट हैव टू ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड अ लॉट, यू कैन जस्ट टेक डायरेक्ट चंक्स फ्रॉम देयर, वहाँ से टुकड़ा मिल जाएगा और वही चीज़ आप फिट करेंगे तो आंसर में आ जाएगा. तो ऐसा भी कन्वीनियंस से होता है, तो अकॉर्डिंगली आप उसको एडजस्ट करेंगे. So I hope this session has been fruitful to you. Wish you all the best. अब आपका एग्ज़ाम आने वाला है, नज़दीक आ रहा है. So wish you all the best and keep रीडिंग तो आपने लगभग कर लिया होगा, भविष्य के लिए करते रहिए. एंड नाउ यू हैव टू फोकस मोर ऑन प्रैक्टिसिंग. द मोर यू प्रैक्टिस, द बेटर योर चांसेस ऑफ फेयरिंग वेल इन द एग्जाम. सो विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट. थैंक यू.